I said professional, Pepe. And welcome to the Inside Star Citizen Review, the longest review show of Star Citizen in the history of Star Citizen content creation. Thank you. Thank you. I am an avid follower, fan, critic, anything and everything when it comes to this project. I want this game to come out as badly as the other millions of people do. 600 million over in revenue. It was having a hard time. It still is. And it always does before CitizenCon. We know this. The veterans, we know the cycles. And now what happens? Look, in the blink of an eye, a couple jump points. Ooh, a couple jump points scattered around like spicy goodness. And look, everybody starts to froth at the mouth again. You were busy clickety-clacking on all that hater bait. You couldn't get enough of the hatred. You couldn't get enough of it. Oh, you needed more. You needed more of it. You clicked on all the salt that there was. You just tasted it. You were monetizing them. You were just monetizing them, right? And then boom, couple jump points. Couple jump points hit. Not even talking about dynamic server meshing, just static right now, and people are still excited. You know, the technicals behind everything. Oh, we're not going to talk about that. No, we're just going to feed them negativity, which is negativity. That's the way I say it. Welcome to DG360. Now, let's see what's going on here. I bet Jared's going to get on here. I bet Jared. I'm just going to guess right now Jared's getting on. No? Oh, okay. Oh, I called that one. Is he in LA?
So yeah, I'm back in LA.
Dude, he's back in LA, man. He's back in LA.
Everything's the same, kind of weird, kind of different.
Ready.
I don't have my studio anymore. I'm pretty sure they turned it into an Airbnb. There was a family of 4 in there when I looked. But yeah, ISC.
That's only an LA joke that LA citizens understand, man. You got to rent that out, man. You got to pay them bills. That reminds me of my friend Einar from Estonia who went to LA. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Normally, we'd be on hiatus right now. It's October. But since everyone is focused on CitizenCon right now, nobody's really paying attention to what we're doing over here. I think we can actually squeeze a sprint report into things, if that'd be the sort of thing you're kind of interested in. Now, if you've forgotten what a sprint report is, that's a bit different than a normal ISC. We don't do developer interviews. We don't, the ISC gameplay capture team doesn't create any footage. We literally, and when I say we, I mean me, we dig into the development review folders that are, internal, that are just meant to kind of update everybody internally on where they are on something, and we pull those and present them to you, with me giving you a little context about what you're looking at. It's not in 4K. It's not professionally created. Nobody, when they made this stuff, thought it would ever be seen publicly, but it's as true and as honest and as behind the scenes an update as we ever do. So yeah, without further ado, let's do Sprint Report, pre-CitizenCon edition, the stuff we can talk about that isn't going to spoil the big events in 2 weeks.
So let's start things off with a look at continuing work on the Ship Trespass system. Now, Ship Trespass is the seemingly simple system that will dramatically affect PvP in the verse by correctly determining and setting hostility for uninvited guests.
And here's what I thought. Just a little tidbit, little theory craft for you guys on future designs and ships. How cool would it be if ships had like defensive systems? Like that there were some types of defensive systems in certain ships. chew on it. Chew on that, Cloud Imperium. I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm here for, you know, to add more to the production of this.
I'm in a fountain.
You're welcome. I'm not hearing anybody talking about it. That's what I'm here for. The banana fountain, where ideas bubble up and froth outwardly. And it's messy.
What you're seeing here is one player boarding a ship that is not their own, and of course receiving a warning indicating they're unlawfully entering the ship.
I know. Name change is letting me know. He's like, hey, DG, the Banu Merchantman had a turret in the marketplace. Okay, yeah, it did. But I'm talking about I want a ship. You're gonna step in and you're gonna get scared. Like, I want one of those like Venus flytrap ships. Give me one of those ships that looks like really docile on the outside, like a freighter, right? That looks like inviting to everybody. And then inside, make that shit like Hal. Give me some like David. Give me. I want people to, like, when they're stepping in my ship, like, hold on a second. This is the vibe I want them to have here. Like, oh shit. Like, I just stepped in this trading ship. What's going on in here? I thought this was a trading ship, and then like lasers coming out. Like, you better watch out. You just stepped in my ship, fool. Okay, that's enough.
This makes them hostile, as well as fair game for anyone else on board to attack without gaining a crime stat of their own, while the intruder will be crime statted the very moment hostilities break out. Go where you're not supposed to be and risk the consequences.
And yes, this also accounts for you as the ship owner following the intruder back to their ship, where you'll be able to hunt them without fear of getting a crime stat yourself.
There we go. Fix that up, man.
And you also may notice that the ship owner gets no notification at all. For intruders, your presence is no longer spoiled by automatically joining a comms channel. If the owner of this test doesn't see you, they won't have any indication you're there, at least until scanners and some such come into play later down the line. And as you can see, ship trespass also extends to vehicles and ships as well. So don't go docking somewhere without asking for permission first.
I have to try it. Listen, this is all stuff I can't give opinions on until we all try it. Because, you know, there's going to be tons of flames from both pirates and traders alike, and, you know, people flying, you know, people that are upset that don't want to get boarded, all this type of things. There's going to go both ways. I think the people that are like PvE oriented and don't want to get boarded are just happy that there's something in place. Now we got to balance it to make sure that the PvP crew, when they go in, it's, you know how it goes. You know how it goes.
Meanwhile, the EU Landing Zone 2 team is continuing their work on extending the new player experience to New Babbage with some new navigational signage you can see here. A lot of news there. As well as adding a few new shops along the critical path to facilitate a better first experience for players, like this Kelto you can see here. Kelto!
Limitless.
Kelto. I blame Board Gamer for this. And the EU-PU team has made some changes to beams, tractor, and salvage alike that will now allow for independent operation on vehicles like the Vulture you see here. This will allow users to mix and match tractor and salvage beams for simultaneous yet independent control via dual sticks or gamepad, and provide for more dynamic use cases as resource gathering systems continue to develop. Not you too, Dev.
Hey, Jerry, can you make a quick express job?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I miss that. I don't get that in England. Like, I don't get that type of service in England.
Hi. They asked if they could make an espresso for us. That was nice.
Oh, yes.
And since many of you are looking forward to...
Oh. Well, now the guy's just making noise and it's annoying, and he reminds himself why he's happy in England. No. See what happens. You can never win. You can never win.
And since many of you are looking forward to further iteration on bounty hunting,
let's keep our tour of potential gameplay
Here we
changes to
go.
ships going with the Anvil Hawk. One
what's
of
up
our
with the
team
Hawk?
members on the EU vehicle content team recently completed a first pass sprint revisiting the Hawk to explore a potential new methodology for loading and unloading what I'm just going to
Same here,
affectionately
DY.
call the Wanted Fugitive and Stasis Cargo Containers, or WIF for short. The idea being that once you've captured and contained your prey in the WIF
That's a terrible acronym.
and set
That
it
is a
down behind the
terrible
ship,
acronym.
this articulating arm would then come out and, using the power of electromagnetism, suck the
All right,
into
all
its
right.
grasp
First off-
and pull it up inside.
First off, like, I don't even know what's going on here. I feel like I'm watching something I shouldn't be watching. Jared saying some weird stuff, and then you guys alluding to, like, maybe there's some type of sexual activity going on here with the Hawk. I'm getting disgusted right now. I might even just turn this right off right now. I can't believe you guys.
The vehicle. Yeah, all this for the width
Oh, Jared.
looks pretty
stop.
good.
All right, so it should be noted that the Wanted Fugitive and Stasis Cargo Container is something I made up about 55 seconds ago. And it's not been vetted or approved by any member of development staff. But I feel good about my chances.
So let's go ahead and stick with vehicles for a bit and look at the old tried and true Freelancer, which is getting some work done to fit all of its necessary item components in ahead of the resource management system coming down the road. Meanwhile, Elwin and our North America vehicle content team have recently completed a first pass sprint bringing the Origin X1 to life, which you can see here is undergoing just a few minor changes from its concept, necessitated by continuing development of the vehicle component and resource management systems.
Dude, that looks better than Star Atlas. Come on, Michael Wagner. Michael Wagner, this is what they want, man. This is what they want, dude. That's what they want. I know Unreal Engine. I love Unreal Engine. I know.
Now, while this is still white box, that hasn't stopped the team from also visualizing some baked-in lighting improvements, and overall, even with the subtle shape changes, the X1 is looking fantastic in its white box form and will only continue to look even better as it progresses further down the pipeline towards release. We've also got a brief look inside the white box progress of the RSI Apollo Medevac, which is
Okay. Apollo, dudes. This is my jam. Okay. Ships that I've always been excited for, the Nautilus, always the Nautilus, and strategic mine laying, and people. That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna make fleet battles so much cooler and more planned. And a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I like the Nautilus. Also, the Crucible. The Crucible, one of those repair ships, the big one with the rotating and has the arms in it. The Crucible, love it. Love the Crucible. And the Apollo, right up there. Right up there with ships that I am longing for. So the Apollo definitely is one of my jams.
currently in production.
Cape Mountains, that's Coop. What's going on, Coop? Yeah, that's spacious. That's nice. That's got a lot more space than I was imagining. Now that you get the walkthrough inside of it, much more spacious. Kind of has a layout of a Carrack a little bit, going down the corridor and then heading off the right. Very, very spacious.
And I still think the
dig
Apollo
it.
exterior looks too damn cool to be a space ambulance. John,
No,
Ben,
no.
I'm gonna need
It's
a,
not just a space ambulance.
a spider or a smuggler variant of the Apollo.
Yeah, maybe do some other variants for sure, but I'm telling you what, the Apollo is just, it's perfect.
And no, if you're thinking that's a hint or anything, it's not. It's just me abusing my platform. And
I totally agree with Jared. Put a 1 in chat. I'm putting a 1 in chat right now because that looks too damn sexy. He's right. I like the fact that it's a med ship. I actually do like the fact that it's a med ship. I'm big into that. But I really would like other variants with that body. That body's got to have another variant to it. Wilkstree's so excited he put a 4. He put a 4. He forgot. Look at this, Coob. Coob's rating this on a whole different scale. Don't make me play the finger sound effect for you, Coob.
Position to make a personal request. Let's talk about the Sprin'tok.yāi. We haven't talked about the Sprin'tok.yāi in a while.
You can see here the alien material work continues to iterate as members of the NABC continue to develop the resources our Xi'an friends would likely use to build their ships from. Through their use of a variety of material maps, they're hoping to land on what's essentially an alien version of carbon fiber. We should add lots of nice detail to the exterior and then add a pearlescent finish that'll really make it shine in the light.
Ooh, man, that Xi'an tech, man. That Xi'an tech. That magic, that sparkle, that shine. Dude. Love that pearlescent, man. Ooh, man.
We've also got a quick look at the back of the wings.
That's pearlescent right there, Futs. Look at that.
And then let's take a look at the cockpit, which you might remember from our Alien Week update has been a bit of a challenge to get right.
Hell yes, man.
Of course, to give it that alien uniqueness while still being usable by the hands of humans and Zero State alike.
And while we're talking about the Sprin'tok.yāi, did you know that we have an entire team dedicated to branding over in the Montreal studio?
We've rarely touched on it, but Nick Forden and his team over there are dedicated to developing the individual.
You know, this one's sneaking up on me. I at first when this came out, I was actually like, I didn't think too much of it, you know, and I'm a big alien design ship lover. Like, I love all the different types of alien ships out there. But this one, like, when it initially came out, I was like, and boy, this one's growing on me. Like, the more it gets released, the more I see it, the more this one's really growing on me.
Really touched on it, but Nick Forden and his team over there are dedicated to developing the individual visual identities of Star Citizen's several hundred internal persistent universe brands, including this look at the brand document of Apoa, maker of the Sprin'tok.yāi we just looked at. Really tied that together. Now, some folks might write branding off as simply marketing, but the work of this team has been essential to recent improvements to Hurston and Area 18 and New Babbage you just saw, allowing artists and designers alike to create consistent and immersive identities for each location. And as this work extends to nearly every aspect of the verse, it'll continue to help define and refine all visual elements you'll encounter as citizens making your way through Stanton, Pyro, and beyond.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Retro? Kind of has those vibes for sure. Man,
I'm gonna need like a...
I love that. I love that, Aether.
Yeah.
I love that about it. I love it.
Right now? All right, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
All right, so I gotta go do this thing, but Chad is right here, so I'm gonna let Chad explain this new improvement that's coming to the cargo system in Alpha 321. Take it away, Chad.
All right, Chad.
Yeah, so I was doing some work for the tractor beam attachment with new larger boxes in the game. They are often these longer on one sized boxes. And because of how they can fit together in the ship, across each other in all these kind of complicated ways, sometimes placing them in the ships is a bit tricky, and it can be a little finicky to get it just right, especially in tight corridors with larger boxes. And so I was adding some new functionality into the system so that whenever you're placing them around, if the direct placement underneath the attachment doesn't work, there's some fallback logic that'll look nearby where the placement is to try to find a good placement for the box, so that it makes it essentially more forgiving whenever you're using the tractor beam. In the ships with these larger boxes, you can place it such that maybe it's just a little bit off the thing that would work. And instead of just not giving you anything as far as like placing it, it'll give you another fallback option. And all that really means is that it is a little bit easier and quicker and more intuitive just to drag things around in the ships and get things together.
just a little bit. This is going to be a life changer, dude.
Yeah. Can we get some applause here, Coob? Coob took the words right out of my mouth, man. Coob's like, this guy is my hero. Coob. It's the biggest update we've had in years, man. This is Coob. For real, man. For real. This
Get mounted. This message brought to you by Predator Mounts.
I'm just cracking myself up. Long time. People who've been here for a long time, they're getting all these jokes. They're getting all of them. If you're new here, welcome. You'll get them soon enough.
This is what killed me on, I mean, just this whole packing system and this tractor beam stuff. This is like, I nearly died on the whole C getting it in because it is incredibly sophisticated code for this stuff. It's like, I literally read a PhD thesis on packing algorithms to implement it. Which is really fun. It's just the time scale that suddenly I had to operate under because of circumstances out of my control.
Listen. What they're doing and how they're seeding in. This is really interesting because Futz is like, this is to take our minds off of CitizenCon because it's going to be a fail. So Futz has got his money on CitizenCon going down. Man, we should take our bets because I'm going to be having CitizenCon with you all day. You better be on DG360 having fun with us. We're going to be on all day long. So we should just have like a fun little parlay, if you will, and we should bet like if the CitizenCon is going to be successful or not. You know, it's interesting, Futz. It's interesting that you say that. I think them seeding into jump points like this is definitely a jumping board into something into CitizenCon. That, you know, what we're going to get from it, I don't know, but man, it kind of sparked up, didn't it? Didn't it, Futz? Though, you know, didn't it spark up a little bit? You know, everybody was being so negative. And it was wah 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 wah, and then like jump points, and people started finding the jump. They're like, oh! I saw like everybody start to wake up. You know what I mean? So CitizenCon still gonna be a really important CitizenCon this year. Probably one of the most important CitizenCons in a long time.
Made it very intense, but
I love it. I love cool. Seeing what you guys think. I love reading chat right now. I love it.
And we're hopeful this goes into 321.
This functionality, yeah.
So yeah, that's a Sprint report. Hope you liked it. I'm going to disappear now. We'll be back in about 2 weeks for CitizenCon, then a 2-day event on October 21st and 22nd, emanating from the Los Angeles Convention Center. Until then, be sure you check out Alpha 321, which is currently on the PTU, available for testing. I haven't seen a whole lot of it because I've been traveling, but there are a lot of people really jumping at the chance to point out some new things that weren't in the patch notes. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting.
I love him, man. I love him. That was good, man. He's got to give it out too. You know what I mean? He just can't continually take all these punches from these clickety-clack guys. You know what I mean? I like that he does that.
I'm going to share the process of game development with you. I like that he does that. And we'll see you in about 2 weeks in CitizenCon.
Jared's been there for a very long time, man. Jared's like taking a lot of crazy stuff. There's a lot of criticism against Jared sometimes, but like I gotta say, personally, he's been on it. He's been doing this for a very long time, man, and he's able to keep his sense of humor, and that says something about him, man. He's taking a lot of heat. Couldn't imagine that. Yeah, I can. I can easily imagine that. Hi, welcome to DG360. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you do push the thumbs up button. We are going to have an after party in just a minute, but YouTube, if you're watching us, head on over to Twitch. We're going to be live having an after party watching our friend Nate's overclocked movie. What? That's how excited I got right there. I know.